Conan's latest update, The Age of War Chapter 4, promises to improve the Battle Pass experience by making it easier to level up and get your rewards. However, how have these changes actually affected the Battle Pass, and is it truly faster? Well, today we're going to try and find out, so strap in, grab a coffee, and let's get into the fine details. Firstly, the daily challenges of old have now been replaced with 3 weekly challenges. These are intended to take a while longer than the old dailies and are more difficult. However, from each completed challenge you'll gain 2500 Battle Pass XP, which equals out to 2.5 levels per challenge. You get 3 challenges per week, so 7.5 levels per week if you finish all 3 challenges, which means if you only ever did these challenges, it would take 8 weeks to reach tier 60, leaving you with roughly 4 weeks of wiggle room until the next update drops and starts a new Battle Pass cycle. Just on the surface, I think this is really good. Not having to worry about boosters or being super efficient with what challenges you complete is a big bonus, and it feels like 4 weeks is a very broad safety net if you manage to miss some challenges. However, that is not all. With the removal of daily challenges, you can now gain Battle Pass XP by doing in-game actions as opposed to doing arbitrary tasks. Specifically, the actions that award Battle Pass XP are harvesting resources, killing enemies, or crafting items in workbenches but not in your inventory. The exact amount of XP you'll get isn't one-to-one, but without a dev blog detailing those full values or some very extensive testing, we can only make estimates, but anyone playing normally should find themselves progressing through the Battle Pass at a steady rate without relying on stockpiling resources for challenges, waiting on boosters, or tackling boring tasks like mining stone or chopping trees. For example, I got 10 Battle Pass XP for killing a level 1 Dafari, which is quite low. But if you put that in the context of a purge where there might also be enemies worth more than 10 XP, or getting through a dungeon or 2, I think the XP should feel pretty steady and regularly rewarding. Of course, because you can only get XP from those sources I mentioned earlier, you're unable to gain Battle Pass XP by granting XP through mods like Pippi, or giving yourself level ups in the admin panel. This is quite predictable, to be honest, otherwise people would just drop 60k worth of XP on themselves on day 1 and finish the Battle Pass instantly. Additionally, you also get a new pop-up on screen whenever you've leveled up in the Battle Pass, alongside a preview of what you've earned. These are pretty clean, and you can press the relevant interaction key when they pop up to view them, though you can turn this feature off right at the bottom of the gameplay menu in settings. So this all sounds pretty good. Well, there is a downside. 2 of them, actually. The first is that it seems you can't get XP from killing anything you've admin spawned in, and they also don't count for the weekly challenges. This is a shame, but if you're doing your Battle Pass in admin mode, you can just quickly fly or teleport between areas where those monsters naturally spawn. I'm not sure if this is intended or an oversight. I have bug reported it just in case, as I think it realistically should work for spawned creatures. It appears you can get XP from crafting using admin spawned items, but unfortunately the XP bar on the Battle Pass screen sometimes takes a while to update. In my testing I saw no XP gains from crafting, and then my XP suddenly jumped up after a few minutes, and this is something I've had repeatedly happen through both crafting and killing enemies across my testing. It's hard to say how efficient crafting is, though it is something you can do entirely AFK or whilst doing something else. This could be linked to either the server connection, of which there have been some issues around launch, or it could be linked to certain admin commands like slow-mo messing with the game's timescale. It's kinda hard to verify if it's one or the other, something else, or a mix of factors. The second downside is that it does appear there is an XP cap in place. Specifically, on day 1 my XP topped out at tier 16.5, and despite running numerous admin mode purges back to back and killing probably hundreds of enemies, that value never budged. I tested this the day after launch, and it is indeed a daily XP cap. As for how much that cap is, well, the maths should be quite easy, but then again it's me, I am notoriously bad at maths, so take this as a maybe until we get confirmation from the devs. Each tier is 1000 XP, so I'm currently sat at 16.5k. I gained 7500 from the weekly challenges, so if I take away the 7500 from the 16.5, I'm left with 9000. However, we have to discount 1000 XP because we start the Battle Pass at level 1, not level 0. Therefore, you can earn 8 Battle Pass levels per day. At the utmost efficiency, if you made sure to complete your weekly challenges and cap every day for 7 days, you would gain 63,500 Battle Pass XP, and thus you could complete the Battle Pass within 1 week, likely not having to reach your XP cap on the last day, as you will end up 3,500 XP over the requirement for tier 60. On the face of it, I'm pretty opposed to the idea of any sort of XP cap. There's already enough restrictions in place with how you can earn Battle Pass XP that it weeds out those that would use mods or exploits to immediately complete it. Additionally, seeing as you can't admin spawn enemies in to gain XP, at least not currently, I really don't see the need for this cap. However, on the other hand, doing challenges prior to this update had no real cap, but it was a slog. After you finish your boosters, it was miserable, and I like a good grind, but I never really had the desire to do any challenges after my boosters were finished. For reference, to reach that XP cap, I did maybe 10 level 10 purges in admin mode, alongside incidental XP I got whilst testing things out. I'm not sure how reachable the XP cap is for the average player. If you're on an official PvE server, for example, the cap might not be easy to reach at all, in which case it shouldn't really affect gameplay all that much. If that is so, it feels pretty targeted at single player rushers. That being said, 7 days at optimal speed to entirely finish the Battle Pass is still much faster than it was prior. I am admittedly kinda mixed on this. If it doesn't affect people on regular servers playing the game normally, and it only affects those doing the single player admin method, I suppose that could be okay, but also I don't see the point when there are already restrictions on how you can earn XP. For me, if somebody wants to sit there for 5 hours and finish the entire Battle Pass in one sitting, I don't see why they shouldn't be able to. I would imagine they are the vast minority of players. On the other hand, to play devil's advocate, the Battle Pass is obviously designed to improve player engagement over time, so this is likely a bit of that too. Overall then, are these changes to the Battle Pass progression actually good? On the whole, I would say they are. I think we all got used to the old system, but admittedly it was a bit clunky. Being a high level player having to mine rocks or kill crocodiles for your XP was not really fun, and even the single player rush method felt a bit boring as you just had to wait 5 days at a time for your boosters to stack up, and then you'd rinse your challenges in 15-20 minutes. This revamp kinda just lets you play how you want to and gain XP at a steady rate whilst doing it. The rework of the weekly challenges is quite nice, and the fact you've got plenty of space to complete the Battle Pass just by doing those weeklies alone is good. The only two downsides are for single player admin rushers. Not being able to gain XP or challenge progress from enemies you admin spawn is kinda rough. I'm not sure if it's a bug or intentional, hopefully it does get changed though. The XP cap is something I'm not a fan of in paper, though if it doesn't affect the vast majority of people that play the game normally, I think I'm okay with it. I'm not sure, I'm very torn to be honest. I get the impression that single player rushers are a vast minority of people that do the Battle Pass, and even with the XP cap in place, 7 days to complete the Battle Pass at optimal speed is not bad at all. It's definitely faster than before, and you don't have to spend hours and hours doing challenges for minuscule rewards. As for if this new system makes progression faster across the board, I don't think it's that easy to tell just yet. I think the system needs time to sit and let people work through it. We don't really have any barometer of how much XP people would be gaining through the new system just yet via regular play. However, the weekly challenges definitely pick up the slack. I think they are absolutely a change for the better, and hopefully the more direct Battle Pass XP follows suit. Overall, these changes seem promising, and hopefully by the time the next update rolls around, this rework will have resulted in many more people completing their Battle Passes. And there we have it, my first impressions of the Battle Pass progression rework. Thanks for watching, and of course a massive thanks to our wonderful esteemed coffee cultists for continuing to support the channel over on Patreon. Let me know what you think of these changes in the comments below. I'm hopeful that we'll be able to get accurate numbers from the devs in the future. I would like to know all the fine details and precise values behind this system. Again, thanks for watching, take care, and I'll see you soon.